Hey, what is up, you sexy beasts? It's Sotomar Tristan here, and I am retelling this story about my first time ever going to a party with alcohol and stuff like that, women and people, because I want to leave my friends' names out of the equation, and bleeping them out sounds way more unprofessional than just retelling the story without actually including all their names. So this happened last night, you guys. To put this in perspective, this was Friday night, or freaking Saturday morning if you guys want to count that, because it continued on until Saturday morning. So it all starts on Friday, where we're chilling at school and we get word that one of our friends is throwing a party. So it's like, okay, and I asked him if I can go, and he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And so I talked to some other of my friends, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go. So 3 of my other friends and I decide to go to this party tonight, and we're actually able to make it because we have cars, and we go there, right? So we finally get there. It's about 10 p.m. at this time, and there's about probably 30-40 people there maybe right when we get there, so it's pretty packed already right at 10. And there's this kid stumbling around, and he's just hammered, he's wasted, and he ends up falling on the host. And then we have to pick him up, and we take his beer. Well, we don't, but other people do, and they put him in the back of his pickup truck, and he's just lying there, needs to get some sleep because he needs to stop drinking. And so they end up turning him over later, and he starts puking off the side of the truck later, like right at the beginning of the party. There were some other people really wasted right when we got there, and it was pretty insane. So this party just consisted of a bunch of people. There was weed, there was tobacco, there was chew, there was alcohol and beer and a little bit of hard liquor, not a lot, but no like hardcore drugs, no meth, no heroin, none of that crazy stuff. And so we're there with some of my friends, and these kids come around, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to do a beer run, so can you give us some of our money? So one of my friends decides to pitch into the beer run, which is pretty awesome of him because he guaranteed us some of the beer, which is freaking sweet. So, which beer is disgusting, by the way, guys, just letting you know that. And I don't smoke or whatever, but I have before in the past, and it's been 9 months since I did it last time. So I'm like, alright, well, let's go ahead and smoke, dude. People are lighting up at the party, and so right when we get there, a pipe gets passed to me, and I'm like, hell yeah. So I do that, pass it to some of my friends, and we take a few hits, and then later we get some like bong rips and stuff. And so like that happened, and it was pretty interesting. So we're chilling at the party, and things are going pretty well. Things are going nicely. I have to take a piss one of the times, but we're just chilling at this party. Nothing really crazy's going down. People are just, there's a bonfire. It's like 5 foot by 5 foot because it's a bonfire party, and people would jump over at the beginning, and we're like, dude, what the hell? You're gonna get injured, and you're gonna fall in the fire, and it's gonna ruin everything. Like, no, we're fine. And so people would just kind of stick to their groups, and they would, girls went there with guys, and not a lot of single women were there or anything. And so we would just, we smoked a little bit of bongs, and we had a little bit of beer when they finally got back from their beer run after like an hour. And so we're just chilling at the party, and everything's going fantastic because nothing crazy's happened. It's just a nice chill party where everyone's getting along well. And then all of a sudden, at about 1 in the morning, freaking a fight breaks out between some kid we know and some kid I can't recognize. And so we're like, alright, so this is getting crazy. So we're like, okay, the fight breaks out by this garage, and they're just brawling, and the kid we recognize is actually beating this other kid. And we're like, alright, good, but everyone's starting to leave. Like, a lot of people, like 10 people just dipped out because they're getting scared, and they're like, oh god, what do we do? Because we don't want the cops to come. Cops haven't shown up at all tonight, and it's been very, very chill, very, very relaxed, and things have been going fine. But it just took one fight, and so what happened was, they just got into a brawl, and the kid we knew won, and we're like, okay, so we should head back to our cars because I don't want to be by any of this violence. And so we all head back, and we're chilling in my car, listening to music, and just like we have like blankets and stuff, no homo. But we each had our own individual blankets. We warm up the car, just listening to music, just chilling there away from all the drama that's unfolding over by the actual bonfire. So our cars are a little bit towards the front of the house, and so we're like, alright, well. So we're just chilling in the car, and then we see people walking around, people are leaving, people are driving away, and these people get in their car, and they're warming their car up, and we're like, okay, well, why are their headlights still on? And my friend's like, well, I don't know, dude. It's weird that they've been there so long. And so, you know, they're just waiting there. They just keep waiting there, and eventually you see them start leaving. We're like, all right, cool, they're finally leaving. Oh, that's good. That's good for them. Maybe they're just waiting for their car to warm up. They pull to the front of the driveway, and it seems like they're waiting there for a little bit. And we see a kid we don't recognize, just because it's really, really dark outside, you guys. 1 in the morning, and we're chilling in my car. Headlights are off. Everything's, you know, whatever. So there's no glare resistance there. And so they have their headlights on, and they're leaving the place in like some SUV. And you see this kid just walking around by their car, and you see a kid get out of the car, and they start fighting. We're like, okay, well that's weird that there's another fight going on. And then all of a sudden you see another kid get out of the same SUV, and they just start beating the crap out of this kid, dude. They just destroy this kid. They're kicking him in the face, they're punching him in the face for about 45 seconds, just mercilessly. Like, it just cannot be tamed, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're about 300 feet away. We can see it through the, you know, because they have their headlights on, and they're just beating this kid to a bloody pulp. And what we can see, you know, because we couldn't have done anything. These kids are too far away. There's nothing we could have done at this point. And so we just felt like shit. And so we're like, oh god. And so what we do is we end up, so what we do is we go up to him after. We're like, oh my god, dude, are you okay? Because we knew this kid, and he won the fight, and we recognized that it was the kid who won the fight. And so, you know, we're helping him up, and we get his friend on the phone, and his friend comes and picks him up later. I'll get into that in just a second. So we phone up his friend, we tell him the address, and tell him it's hard to find. And so we're like, okay, giving him directions and stuff. We give the phone back to the kid who got beat up, and his face is bloody as hell. There's blood going down his entire face from his nose and everything. There was blood on the ground. It was bad, dude. This kid got destroyed, and it was just unfair because it's like, you know, he won the fight. They shouldn't have really done this to him. And so we're just waiting there, back in our car, freaking out because, you know, we are, I'd had a little bit to drink. I had that beer that my friend gave me, and then I also had a little bit of a beer that this girl gave me, and then also a shot. So I'm like, okay, well, and then I was faded. But, so I wasn't really feeling adequate to drive. Obviously, it's illegal, and you can get your license taken away for several years if you're caught with a DUI, if you're a minor, and so it's just extremely bad. And so we can't leave, but we're worried, you know, what's gonna happen? You know, are they gonna come back? Are cops gonna come? Like, it can only get worse from here because the party just got out of control really fast. And that's the messed up thing, because we thought everything was going fine for so long, for like 3 hours. Because people are chilling, people are smoking, people are drinking, whatever, things are going well. And, you know, I smoked a little bit out of a bong, a little bit out of a pipe, you know, had some alcohol, but I was obviously not adequate to drive right there. And so I had talked to my dad before the actual party started, and I told him, he's like, if anything ever happens, you give me a call. I'm like, alright, you got it. So I give him the address, and he's like, I will be there to pick you up if anything happens, because I don't want you to drive drunk. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to drive drunk either, because I don't want to ruin my car, and I don't want to get my license taken away, and I don't want to die. It's like that kind of thing. I don't want to get injured because I did something wrong. And I was definitely more high than drunk, but it's still really bad, you guys. I do not encourage that at all. And so my friends end up taking off. They get in their vehicles and they leave, and so it's just me there waiting at his house. A bunch of people have left. I don't even know how many people were left at the bonfire when I was still there. And so I'm like, oh god, I'm freaking out. And I knew this place was really hard to find, and so I'm like, okay, well, what I did was, so I drove my car to the end of his very long driveway, and I'm just waiting there for my dad to come pick me up. So I end up calling my dad, and I'm like, look, things got out of hand. There was a fight. Some kid got gang beaten, and I need you to pick me up, Dad, please. And he's like, yeah, I will be right there, son. I'm like, thank God. And so it's taking a lot of time. My phone's almost dead. I have 4%, and I'm freaking out. By the end of the driveway, I'm alone. I'm in my car. I'm doing this thing breath by breath, and this is about 1:30, so a little bit after the fight happened, 25-30 minutes maybe. And I'm just waiting in my car. I turn the radio on to, you know, soothe me, but it doesn't. Like, it kind of does, but I'm still freaking out. I got my, you know, doors locked, and I'm just waiting there, waiting for my dad to come pick me up, because I mean, I didn't want to sleep there. That was my initial plan. I brought blankets, I brought a bowl to, you know, puke in and stuff, and I brought a pillow too to sleep in my car, which I've never done before. And so I was prepared to sleep there, but I really didn't want to if anything worse happened. And I didn't feel safe, I didn't feel well, and my dad knew that I was going there, and he's like, yeah, I will pick you up. And I was like, this is fantastic. And I'm waiting there for literally 25 minutes. I turn my car on and off to, you know, stay warm and stuff because I'm picky, and just to listen to the radio and stuff. And I'm just waiting there, breath by breath, looking down the street for any possible headlights. I see a few cars come by. The kid who got gang beat got picked up, which was awesome. I felt really good about that, because I hope he's alright. That was just fucking ridiculous. He did not deserve that at all. And so I'm still waiting there for my dad. I'm, you know, doing this thing breath by breath, and I don't know what to do. And I finally see his car pull up next to mine. I'm like, thank God you're here. I'm not good enough to drive right now. Thank you so much. And so he's like, alright, we'll back your car up a little bit right under this tree. So I do that, hop in his car, I tell him the whole story on the way back. My little brother's in the back. He's really tired. It's freaking 2 in the morning right now, because it took him, you know, a little while to get there, because he had to get my little brother out of bed and get him ready. So yeah, it took him a little while to get here, and we finally end up getting home. It's hard for me to go to sleep. It's a little bit past 2 in the morning, but I finally get some sleep, and it felt really nice. And we end up getting my car back in the morning, which was really no biggie. My dad just drove there, dropped me off, and we got my car. It was a very, very scary story, and like the life lesson is like, parties always kind of end in stuff like this. Like, they can never really go 100% because you can't predict what people can do, especially not with alcohol. And so, you know, a fight could break out, freaking someone could get injured, someone could die, I don't know. Like, a bunch of stuff can happen. I'm not saying it's not impossible to have a perfect party, but it's very, very unlikely. And if you're going to a party, expect this kind of shit to happen. At least no cops came. That was the good part. But there was really no light at the end of the tunnel on this story. And also the fact that this guy really shouldn't have gotten gang beat. That's just not cool at all. Like, he legitimately won the fight. He deserved that victory. And they really shouldn't have gang beat him. That's just retarded. It's never fair, 2 against 1. It's just, it's not cool. And I feel sorry for him. Really, if you guys enjoyed the story, have a great day. And remember the fact that I love you.